Time for Mr. Truck, reviewing the latest innovations for your truck and trailer.
Alright, howdy folks, this is Dan with Mr. Truck TV, and today we're driving a 2020 Ford F250 with that 7.3 gas job, and she is monstrous. She likes it, she likes it a drink of the fuel. Isn't that right, baby?
Yes, she does. Hi.
Today we've got my wife, Allison, say hi.
Hi.
And my daughter, Josephine.
Hi.
They're all very, very excited to be in this particular truck because it's pretty. Well, for the past couple days, we've been driving this truck around, doing some various tests, things of that nature, just trying to get a good feel for how this truck is. And so, what's your impression so far, baby?
I definitely do not like the fuel mileage. I like it. If you plan on using the truck for working every day, and you can afford not only the payment of it, but to fill it up, more power to you. Not so much for us. We're the poor folk.
Well, what would you, now I think we had this thing, it was somewhere in the neck of the woods, like 68.9, I think that's what this truck comes in at.
Very spendy, that's all I know.
Oh yeah, and now this is actually a Lariat model, so it's actually got a decent amount of bells and whistles on it. But is it the most fanciest truck in their lineup?
No, it's not like King Ranch or anything.
No, believe it or not, Platinum is their top of the line. King Ranch is the next up after this.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't lack for power though.
No, it does not.
Now this thing,
it will shit and get.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the downside is with the 430 gear, it hurts fuel mileage. You're probably losing about a full mile and a half to the gallon just with these gears alone.
Right.
Now the thing is that with the 430 gears, I find that the first couple gears in this 10-speed are, well, they're kind of useless, aren't they?
Very lagging.
It actually, it's almost like it has to try to think of, okay, I got this gear, I think I gotta skip this other gear, and then, okay, we get about 4. Okay, now we're good to go. Now we're in the kind of gears where we can actually use the transmission and get everything going. But 70 mile an hour cruising down a highway, we're sitting about 2,000 RPM. And I mean, it's not extremely high revving for the gears that are in it, but it doesn't really come into its own until you have a load in it. Then you actually appreciate those gears.
Right, it's a work truck.
Now it would appear that with this truck, if you get a crew cab, the only real options that you have gear issue wise is a 355 or a 430. So if you're going to tow every single day, go for a 430. If it's, you know, kind of like the heavy duty family hauler and you don't care so much about maximum pulling, I'd say that 355 is enough to make that transmission work a little bit better for you in the lower gears. Because this thing's got around about a 4-to-1 first gear, and it's got triple overdrive, so you'll be just really chugging along down the highway, not a whole lot of RPM. You're still going to be about 16 to the gallon, which isn't fantastic, but they did not build this engine for fuel economy. They built it to work. They built it to be able to move and groove everything. So it's kind of like the old 460. It would pull everything under the sun, but it for doggone sure would not win any fuel mileage contest.
Right.
So now you had a chance to drive this before even I got home, and so why don't you tell the folks what are your impressions on it? What you like, what you hate about it?
I really like the fact that, because we live in Georgia, so
yeah,
it's hot, and we've already had some hot days. So I really like the fact that it has the ventilated seats, which is nice.
Now, are those air conditioned seats, or is it just blowing smoke up your butt?
I don't know. They keep your butt cool, that's all I know.
No, it's there's no cooling duct in there. It's actually the leather is actually perforated leather, and the perforating of little holes. So they just have a blower motor just blowing air that's moving around the truck, and it just kind of blows it up and just cools your back off and everything.
Okay, either way, I like it. The sound system's pretty good. I'm a big Queen fan, so obviously when I get in it, I had no choice but to jam out to Bohemian Rhapsody, and you know, sounds pretty nice.
It's actually very, very nice. You know what, baby? I have got some free music that won't get us any kind of a thing here. So, what do you say? You ready to test the speakers just that little bit?
Sure.
All right, let's see. Kind of slow start. I think the speakers will kick up real quick. What do you think? Don't get loud. I can see this rolling through the ghetto. Yeah. Oh.
It's kind of like what I always say about us is, yeah, it looks like we have a nice car, and then we get out and it's ding 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 ding. So.
Well, see, now there are some folks where that might not be their speed. You know, so let's put on something a bit more. That's an appropriate song. Feels like I'm going crazy. It sounds like your everyday life.
Yeah, especially.
System, I'd say.
Yes, I very much. I like this sound system over my Camry any day. I will say, now granted, this truck is built to work, but I'm a stay-at-home mom, so my whole thing is, how does it work for the family, especially with our baby on the way?
Yes.
I'm short. I'm vertically challenged, and even with running boards, it is not short people friendly.
You don't
Again,
think so?
it was built. I mean, I'm short and fat, but you can do it, but it still sits up high, especially with the step for the tailgate.
Yeah, now I will agree with you on that. Now this is a F250, so it's not their biggest, tallest truck that they have in the lineup, but it is plenty tall. Now you can get up, if you really go ahead and you stretch and you work at it, you're flexible enough, you can get up on that step. But
yeah, but not everybody's a flexible fat man like you.
Yes. Now there is one small problem with that step, and I'd have to say that's the limit of the step itself. So let's say you're a skinny fella and you got some things in your hands. Do you remember by chance what's the weight rating on that step?
350 pounds.
That's right. So us, I mean, we're kissing that 300-pound range.
And that's just us by ourselves, not lifting anything in it.
So let's just say for this example, let's just say we're 305, and we've got a 50-pound sack of potatoes. We step on that step, we're over the limit for it.
Right.
So, and have you tried carrying something up that step? It doesn't seem like it's really the best thing. So thankfully it's an option. It's not mandatory to get. I think it's like a $300-some-odd option, and if it was me, I'd probably go ahead and just not get it.
That's not one of those.
It's not the need to have item.
Right.
It's neat, but
actually a lot of things on this truck are you don't need to have it. It's nice, but
look, what would you say are some of those items?
Like well, first of all, in my opinion, from driving the newer vehicles compared to what we used to drive,
which was premium junk.
Yeah, I mean, we still have that premium junk. What, 01 Ford Focus? No cruise control, no nothing.
I think that's a 3 model.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I was wrong.
Yeah.
But still, no cruise control, none of that high-tech, fancy, you know.
Oh, yeah.
They really take the driving out of driving.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can agree with that.
And you know that's fine. I like the adaptive cruise control and all that stuff. But at the same time, the amount of technology they're putting in these trucks nowadays, it's insane. Like okay, you drive a 50-foot trailer every day, 365 days a year. Do you need towing assist?
No.
Do you need backup assist?
No.
I don't think that's really necessary.
Now, I will say, I like the camera.
The camera is nice.
Yes, having the camera there can assist you with the knowledge of what you're supposed to do, and you can kind of get it pretty close. And if you're doing it all by yourself and you don't have a helper, it's fantastic.
Right. And I know not everybody has truck driving, but if you're towing, and if you tow enough to have a truck like this, you would think you would know how to back it up.
You would hope so, but as we've learned ourselves, I can maneuver a trailer in and out of spots that are going to make you have a heart attack. And then if I ask you to go in and kind of do the same thing, maybe it would be easier if you had the little knob here for the trailer back.
Yeah, but I don't do it every day.
Well, that's the thing. So maybe the people who buy this, they've got you kind of do a devil's advocate. Maybe it's the guy who drives it every day, but has someone who doesn't really know so much, so they use that as that little tool to kind of get them along.
But on the flip side, if you're going to buy a truck like this that has all this power to tow, and you don't tow with it,
it is kind of useless, yes.
Exactly.
But as we both well know, there are people that buy vehicles that have an intended purpose, and they never, ever use them,
Like you! Oh.
Well, listen, just because my junk sits around for a while doesn't mean anything. I'm talking about those that went out and bought a Hummer, put big old doves on it, yo. And then it's like an episode, it's like a thing from Cars. Oh man, I got dirt in my rims.
No, you hit a rock and you bend your rim. At least I hit the curb.
Yeah, At least you took out the rim that was already screwed up.
Like I just made it get done faster. That's all. But I mean, the technology is nice. I like with the lane keeping. Now, when I drove the truck for the first time, I didn't mess with any of the settings. I just kind of used the cruise control and everything. It actually kind of threw me off because it's a bigger truck. I drive a 2016 Camry. Like, I'm like in this monster of a truck. So my lane keeping skills for a minute were a little horrible. It didn't yell at you. It didn't try to steer you back. Like, the steering wheel actually vibrated.
Yeah. And it's just that little reminder of, hey, look at the road.
Right. And I at first thought something was wrong with the truck, because with my car it'll scream at you, and with your truck you have it set when you do use it that it tries to steer you back into the lane.
Yeah. Now I can actually have it set up where it doesn't do that, and it just vibrates like this does.
Well, I didn't know that, but
Now this, I will say, you can either just turn it on or turn it off. There is no other thing. There's no alert. It's just the vibration. But you can turn it how much it vibrates off.
I also like, and I kind of did this on purpose because I remember you saying that they would do it, so I did it on purpose. I was not irresponsible with my driving, but I kept my lane keeping really horrible, and it'll actually tell you maybe you need to take a coffee break with little coffee cup.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I was just curious.
I take it that's for that we've driven 800 miles and we've got 20 miles left to go to get home.
Which we have done.
Maybe.
Multiple times.
What else you got to say about the thing?
It rides very smooth. It's very quiet. Actually, when they dropped it off, I heard it pull in our driveway before I saw it.
Oh yeah?
But at the same time, it's very quiet.
Oh, it is incredibly quiet.
So...
I mean, this was quiet.
It is quiet. However, I'm a sucker for the Ranger. If I had to choose one, I would pick the Ranger for one reason and one reason only.
And why is that then?
Turbo noises.
Oh, you don't actually hear the turbo whistle, but you definitely feel the torque that you get from that turbo.
Because the truck has a turbo, you have more shit and get with that. I mean, you have shit and get with this truck, but that Ranger...
You just feel it more?
Like, it pushes you in your seat when you accelerate.
And now the irony is that 0 to 60 times between the two, from what we've tested on a closed course in Mexico, are actually they're actually pretty similar.
Yeah, but not everybody drives like idiots like us.
Shh, they're not supposed to know.
I will say that going 60 miles an hour in the Super Duty feels like you're going 15.
And how's that compare to other things you've had?
I like the Super Duty. It kind of relates to my car in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It has that firmer suspension.
Okay.
Now, when we're in the Ranger, it feels like we're going 60, but I hate that suspension in that truck, so...
It's too floaty for
It's
you.
too floaty for me.
Okay.
But anyway,
Now, this truck is actually equipped with adaptive steering, so how has your experience been with trying to maneuver around parking lots and then both driving down the road?
see, you would think I would be able to tell that really easily, but it doesn't even register.
So it must be it's working pretty good.
I mean, unless you pointed out to me, like you did the other day, like this morning,
Mm-hmm.
I never would have even realized it. I'm more concerned with parking this this thing.
And now this has got a feature on there that I find to be, honestly, absolutely game-changing with something of this size. This has got the 360-degree view camera, and just having that around, just trying to make sure it's like, okay, you got the mirrors, yeah, you can see around, but having those extra cameras for something as big as this truly is just, it's almost like a godsend, I'd say.
It is. It helps you to park perfect every time. Because like I said, going from my car to this truck with driving and parking, it was...
I mean, you're not used to something of this size.
Right. So parking, I was scared to park it.
It makes it nimble as a Ranger.
Yeah.
Trying to park it and get it right.
First time I parked it with that 360 view, parked it perfect.
And now, can you use that? What do you have to do to use that?
So you can't do it now because you're going over 5 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in reverse, it'll come on. Or if you're going under 5 miles an hour, there's this lovely little button you can push. You can actually see it, and then it won't kick off till you're over 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
And now I was futzing around with the trailer and all that, trying to get it hooked up, get it right, get everything level.
Right.
And to save gas, I was actually shutting the thing off. This has, it actually takes a while for it to load back up. So if you're doing it by yourself and you're trying to use that camera, you might as well leave the truck on, because you try to get in, move it, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
It has a lot of neat features. That's kind of like I really like this. Is it useless to me? Yeah, but I like it.
And I believe that they call that the twin panel moonroof.
I still like it. It's cool, but we're not moonroof people, so.
No, we are not. But I found out this other neat feature that this thing has. I didn't even realize it. Apparently, if you hit the unlock button and then you hold it for a couple seconds, it'll open up a couple of the windows in the truck to cool it off.
No way.
Yes way.
We're gonna try that.
We will. So
Hopefully when it's not raining.
if it's not raining and we can do that, I think that would be or if we're in a enclosed structure, we could do that and play around with that. I actually went to look that up because I was cycling through the menu and it said remote window. I know, pretty interesting. Useless, but fun. Because
There's so many features you don't even know what's all here.
oh yeah, well I think that's why they put such a price on it. How's that back seat comfort there, Joe? Pretty good?
Yeah.
You like it?
There's even. You
Cup
should
holders.
tell them about this.
Yeah, they hide those little cup holders in there pretty good, don't they?
Yeah.
Very
Like,
roomy.
if you just drive right here, then you don't even know it.
And I don't know if you guys can see it, but her bear even has a built-in car seat.
I
Well,
like
isn't that very, very nice?
Oh, Hardee's. We should hit up. Never mind, we're on camera.
bird feeder.
A what?
Bird feeder.
A bird feeder? You want to hit up a bird feeder?
We should have one for birds, so they won't die in the winter.
They fly south in the winter.
We are south.
They fly south.
Hungry or thirsty while they're going north.
Oh, okay. Well, I got now. This truck, I gotta say, this is a Lariat. It is set up for a husband and wife to be in this.
Yeah.
I really truly, and this is also. Hold on, Miss Josephine, you gotta be quiet, okay? Now, this truck, it's set up for a husband and wife. It's set up for two people to be in this truck all the time. Because we found out with getting our vehicles the way they were that we kind of sort of need to have a dual climate control setup.
Yes, because I'm always cold, and you will freeze me out.
Yes.
And because I'm always cold, I will make you bake like a bird.
And which also leads to me getting tired because it's comfy. Oh.
Yes.
And speaking of comfy, the heated seats too. I mean,
I like the Ranger ones better.
You think so?
I think they're more. Maybe it's because the Ranger has cloth seats. I don't know if that plays a difference.
That could be.
But the Ranger ones are more intense, which helps muscles in my back because
Yeah. Oh yeah, long rides. Get out and you're kind of relaxed. But there's also this other really neat feature that the truck has that you don't really find until you get into the Lariat trim level, and that would be the remote, the different memory settings for the seat.
which helps us. Which would be nice if we could have something like that in our vehicles.
Now,
we sit
yeah. So, you want to? Is there anything else about those remote seats that you find particularly appealing?
Oh, when you shut the truck off,
Mm-hmm.
it scoots you back so you can get out easier.
So would you say it's fat man friendly?
It is fat man friendly. This truck is fat people friendly, period. So, I mean...
Now, you're definitely a bit sensitive when it comes to seats and everything. How do these seats treat you for the long?
Well, considering we just drove from our house to Athens for my OBGYN appointment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, 45 minutes to an hour?
I think so, yeah.
I'm in no pain.
Outstanding.
Now is when we had the escape, like 30 minutes down the road.
Oh yeah, we're ready to be done.
Yeah. So the seats fit very nice. They're very firm, and I like that.
Mm-hmm. Got no complaints on my side either.
Yeah. I mean, you got leg room. The center console is not.
Yeah, it's not intrusive.
No, like our legs don't even touch it.
Oh no, it's absolutely fantastic in that. I tend to spread out a little bit, and if you have things in your pockets, like I tend to, it doesn't actually create anything uncomfortable. You're actually pretty good there.
Right.
So there is something that I find is kind of annoying when it comes to these trucks. I like LED lights. I think that they put out a decent amount of light on the road, and in comparison to halogen lights, although more simple, they don't put out quite as much light. And considering we live out in the middle of woods, it's nice to have. You have got to get at minimum a Lariat model in order to have the availability of the LED lights.
You also need a Lariat model for the ventilated seats.
Yes, at a minimum.
Yes.
And you know what else is kind of goofy of what you need to have in order to get those things? At least the LED lights. You have to have a crew cab. You cannot. So you
couldn't get a super cab here?
No. You mean the highest trim level that you can get in a super cab is a Lariat. And if you get a Lariat super cab, you can't option yourself LED headlights.
See, now I know they base off of that stuff on marketing and who buys what and everything, but it's kind of stupid.
I'm not a huge fan of that.
No, I'm not a huge fan of you can't get that. Like, the seats, okay, I can get it, but the LED headlights, I think that's not awesome that you can't get that in XLT.
I think that would be something neat to have. Yeah, it's a couple $1,000 option. It's at least over $1,000.
Right.
And But there are areas of the country where that would be nice to have. Now, there is one thing about these trucks that went away for this model year. You can't get it anymore. It's no more. There's no manual transfer case.
Yeah, that just leads to problems in my eyes.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, they've had electric transfer cases for a long time now, but the fact that it's gone.
The more electrical you have in the truck, the more spendy it's going to be to fix it.
But you know what the really cool thing is that they do give you? All the way up to a platinum. In the Super Duties, no matter what trim level that you get, you can get a rubber floor.
That is cool. I mean, especially with kids.
Now, I would make the argument, since the cabs are the same between this and the F-150, I'd like to get that same treatment in the F-150. How about you?
Yeah. I mean, they're basically the same. Well, they're not the cabs.
Yes. I mean, it is something that's just one of those things. I'm sure each manufacturer has their own little dealio there, right?
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Now, I guess the thing would be is to see, how does this thing tow?
I guess that's our next adventure.
All right, and we'll see you back in just a minute. We're gonna go home, hook up to a trailer, but for y'all, it's gonna be just like